our first JSP example, Duke. Yeah. The program is program is called Duke. Yeah. I will post the source code. Okay, so you can run by yourself. Yeah. So after my tutorial, then I post these examples. Yeah. All right. The structure, files inside the web application Duke. You just get a folder called Duke, and all the files inside are used for your web application. All right, what are those files? 4 files. Yeah. 2 JSP files. Okay, yeah. We use 2 JSP files. 1 image file. Yeah, you need to see the Duke image. Yeah, there is a Duke image. Yeah. This example I borrowed from a very early Sun Java Enterprise documentation tutorials from there. Yeah. So I like that example a lot. Yeah, very simple, but it can tell us a lot of useful information. Yeah. So I always use this as my first JSP example. Yeah. And you also need a deployment descriptor file, web.xml. Yeah. Why we need that? Because we need a welcome file. We need to tell the server which JSP file is our welcome file. Right? Yeah, so that's why we need that. Other than that, we don't need anything else. Yeah. These 4 files, that's all we need. Okay? Yeah. All right. Configuration. Configuration is very simple. Yeah. When we do configuration in Java web application, yeah. Last time we learned the servlet configuration, right? Last time, the servlet. Yeah. We talk about 2 different ways configuration. Web.xml way and annotation way configuration. Okay, all right. When we get to the JSP, what kind of configuration do we need to do? Okay, yeah. Comparing with servlet, JSP will be translated into servlet automatically. Yeah. But for JSP itself, we don't need to do any configuration. Regarding the JSP itself, we don't need to do any configuration. Okay. What is the purpose of configuration? Yeah. First, let me get back to that basic question. What is the purpose of configuration? Okay. The purpose of configuration is you want to tell the server how to handle some specific resource. That's the basic purpose. If the server knows how to handle that resource, you do not need to tell the server anything, right? Because the server knows how to handle the JSP files already. Yeah. The server knows that. Okay? So that specific way to handle JSP already built in, yeah, inside the technology. So that means we don't need to do anything to tell the server to, how to handle JSP. Yeah. So that's why no configuration is needed. Okay, yeah, that's the reason. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Then how to access JSP files? Use URL reference. I mean, I mentioned that before, right? You type the URL, JSP, Yeah. But when you have welcome file, you do not need to even type the JSP file name, right? Because you have welcome file. Okay? You just use it as a welcome file to access it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. If needed, so this is a special situation. Sometimes we may need to do some special configuration. So that's why if needed. But under what situation you need it, right? Under what situation you need it? Here, let me tell you one special situation we need configuration. We need to pass parameters to our JSP files. We need to pass parameters somewhere. How do you make the JSP accept those parameters, right? You can do it in your configuration. Yeah. Otherwise, you do not have a chance to pass any customized parameters, right? Yeah. We may need to use some customized parameters. You need to have some special situation or special chance to tell the server what are your parameters. Okay? You need to have that chance to do it. Yeah. This is the chance. Okay? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We may not have chance to see it. So if there is suitable chance, I may try to let you see it. Okay. Yeah. I have that example. Yeah. Yeah. But I just need to find the right place to show you that example. Okay. Yeah. When you need it, yeah, we can do it. Yeah. Probably, yeah. I may like to, you know, in my project, I may expose that situation to you. So you have a chance to, you know, put your hands on it. Yeah. All right, now next, we are ready to see our demo. Okay, RDE. Now, we create a project. The standard procedure, we use Eclipse to develop a Java web project. New, and we do dynamic, carefully I move to dynamic web project. Okay? Yeah. In this project, I need to give a project name. I call it Duke, right? Yeah. So this example, it's a Duke 1. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Default. Now generate, because this time for this option, I want to skip it. I don't want to choose because the source code I download, I give it to you, includes that web.xml. You just copy paste, right? So you don't need to generate a new one. When you generate a new one, you need to override it. When you override it, you know, by default, Eclipse does not override it for you. It just generates a new file for you. So then you need to delete it, you know, a lot of work. So that's why at this place, we just skip it. Okay, yeah. So then it can save us a few more steps. So we can click the finish button to generate the skeleton file, the structure, the basic structure of this Duke project. All right. Okay. Next, all the content, we should use this folder, web content. Okay, web content. Now let's do the file copy. After you download the source file, all right, so you have this folder, Duke. Inside it, there are 4 files, but the one inside web-inf. Okay, so later we'll get that. But outside it, there are 3 files, 2 JSP files and 1 image file. So let me just select these 3 files together, and then I copy to the right place using the drag and drop web content, the root folder of the web application. Copy files. Now we see 3 files. Okay, the JSP file, if we want to see it, we can show the content here, right? And for this demo, we need to look at it. We don't need to look at the content. For the response, only 1 line, you can see, you know, so simple. Yeah. But we need it. Okay, yeah, that's everything. And I go through the details in my next lecture. All right, but next we need to copy web.xml. Okay, all right. All right. drag and drop inside this. Okay, right? It's there. Yeah. I can click it, show you the welcome file. Yeah. Oh, it takes a long time. It's a small file. Yeah. Still. Yeah. I notice when I use the video Zoom recording, my CPU is very slow. All right. So here, this is web.xml. You can see the welcome file, index.jsp. This is the welcome file. Okay. So when we start, we see this file first. Now we are ready to run this project, this Duke. Okay. All right. Right click, okay? Right click your mouse on this project folder, and we get to run as, menu option, run on server, and I like to see next, okay? Yeah. Because the reason is I want to remove my old projects. I only leave the current project. All my old project, I want to make them out of the way, because Eclipse sometimes may, there is some internal conflict for different projects. So you will get error message, possible error message. So that's why I do this kind of thing, to avoid that possible conflict. Finish. Want to, yeah, it's okay, remove. Now, allow the block, right? Yeah. Permission, I give the permission, another access, allow access. Yeah. Now, this is internal browser display index.jsp. So you don't see the index.jsp, but that's the result of it. All right, so now we type some name. Here I just type Java, for example. Click submit. Hello Java. Okay. Here, this small example, so simple, but you see the dynamic content processing. This is the dynamic part. Okay? So the user enters some information, the system will process the information. How to do these things? So next lecture, part D, I will probably, I need to spend about 20 minutes to explain the detail for this example. All right, so that's for today's lecture. So let me stop recording here.